Thanks everyone for joining and taking the time. We received some good feedback on last month's global event, so wanted to do another one. This one is focusing on startup pitches, and we have 4 founders today. The format is each will present for 10 minutes. You will share your screen, walk us through your presentation, and then for 5 minutes we will do Q&A. As far as Q&A, you can either send me questions in, best is to just send me questions in chat and I will pick out some and then ask at the end. I will time the sessions just so we respect everybody's time, and I will let you know when there's about 3 minutes to go. Cool? All right, so for now, please everybody be on mute and then we'll get into Q&A. So Brano, go ahead and start.
All right, let me share the screen first. Here we go. So hi everyone, I am Branislav. I am a founder and CEO of Novology Incorporated, a US EU company disrupting the sleep tech space. At Novology, we believe that people should lead healthier, happier, and more active lives. So we empower them with tools, knowledge, and inspiration to reach this goal. I'm also an inventor of AYO, an award-winning wearable device that helps you improve your sleep, get more energy, and minimize jet lag. Due to its innovative character and its impact, we have sold AYO in over 100 countries worldwide and have been lucky to be featured by some of the top media outlets globally. Imagine Men's Health, CNN, BBC, Sky News, Forbes, Vogue, Huffington Post, Inc. magazine, and so on. Moreover, I'm happy to share that AYO is being used by some of the top experts, organizations, and thought leaders around the globe. Some you might know, like Novak Djokovic, for example, or actually LeBron James. When I started the company 6 years ago, back in 2015, one of our first investors was 11 Venture Fund from Bulgaria. In the same year, back 2015, we also ran a successful crowdfunding campaign on Indiegogo. We managed to raise $400,000 in pre-orders, which is up to date one of the most successful crowdfunding in our region. After 2 years in R&D, we entered the market in 2017 and have been growing steadily since, with some help from prominent angels from our part of the world as well as US. Up to date, we received 1 million investment. And in 2019, we have reached 20,000 users. So our plan for the next 3 years is to become a leader in outcome-based wearables for sleep and energy. It was clear to us back then when we started that we really wanted to tackle a meaningful innovation and a real world problem, especially in the health and well-being space. And there is a major problem with sleep. I don't know if you were aware, but there is 1 out of 5 adults who suffers from sleep issues and sleep deprivation, according to National Sleep Foundation. How about you or your loved one? Are you maybe waking up every day with an alarm clock and keep snoozing your alarm? Or maybe you experience afternoon energy dip, or perhaps are feeling down on energy in the evenings. This is quite common. And not only that this makes you feel bad, but it actually has really serious negative consequences, both on your health, productivity, and economies at large. In US alone, costs associated with this are estimated to $400 billion. And if you look at the solutions out there and all the products, let's call them sleep economy, it is set to reach almost 600 billion by 2024. So how does 20% of adult population deal with such a major problem? There's no easy answer, and there are quite a few solutions. As you can imagine, there is medication, therapy, don't do anything, trackers, apps, cognitive behavioral therapy as well. Some use melatonin pills, others use coffee to keep them awake. But is this really the best we can do? Because let's face it, sleep trackers mostly tell you something you already feel and know, right? You're not sleeping good enough or you're not getting enough sleep. Medication, they usually treat the symptom and not the root cause. About the side effects, I don't even want to start. On the other hand, there are a bunch of solutions, some tested, some not so tested, that you try to juggle around, but usually they don't give you the outcome you want. And ultimately you give up. So I think we wanted to do much better than this. And what I have dedicated my time is to create a natural solution based by science that lights the way to better sleep and more energy. I would like you to meet AYO. It's an award-winning wearable device that has achieved Red Dot Award for design. It's endorsed by Sleep Tech Council of National Sleep Foundation and is based on over 20 years of science at universities like Harvard, Oxford, and organizations like NASA. If you're wondering what AYO does or what it actually is, I would like you to remember this. It is the world's most advanced light therapy device that adjusts your circadian rhythm. And if you have never heard about circadian rhythm, that's all right. I'll tell you in short what it means. It is the master clock in your body that regulates hormones, that makes you feel sleepy, allow you to wake up in the morning, regulate your energy levels, and even your mood. So what AYO does, it uses this specific blue light energy that we call circadian light, and based on a science called chronobiology, in a natural way, it's supposed to tap into this rhythm and allows you to optimize it. In practice, this would mean that you use AYO app to input some information. We used to like to call it chronometrics, and you follow a personal guided approach that usually takes between 1 to 4 weeks, where you wear AYO with your eyes open for around 20 to 30 minutes in the private setting, usually at your home, either upon waking up or sometimes in the evening, depending what you want to achieve. The best part about all of this is that it's completely natural and there are no side effects whatsoever. It's fully certified for eye safety and all the international standards. But beyond wearable, if you look at just the technology, it's really powerful because it can be applicable to any light source, including smart bulbs at home or offices. Furthermore, our app collects all the data about sleep issues, energy issues, performance, and really customizes this user experience and get us enough information that we can further this field and move it forward. Also, the same technology can be applied to different fields like depression, shift work, fatigue, energy, jet lag, corporate wellness, and so on. I'm really happy that you also have some of the really world-renowned partners in the science-based field, like we collaborate with National Sleep Foundation, U.S. Department of Defense, Mount Sinai Organization in New York, Northwell Health, Erasmus Medical Center, Reykjavik University, and many more. They all trust and love AYO. One of the projects that I'm really proud of that I'd like to call your attention to is the world's biggest light therapy clinical study on cancer, where we improve the sleep quality and reduce the cancer-related fatigue. This year, the internal results are out, and not only that they are positive, but actually they show the link between patients who use our AYO light therapy with the efficiency of getting better, receiving the treatment, and decreasing the mortality rate. And I think that's just phenomenal. If you look further, we have over 20,000 users, and 80% of them love AYO. They're happy with their purchase, and they feel and report the positive results. If you look at our business model, it's really straightforward. We manufacture and produce the device, we sell it at recommended retail price of $299, and we have a very healthy margin of around 80%. Our plans moving forward are straightforward in a way that we want to expand the product portfolio and more importantly, really want to focus on the digital experience and the app. So we are planning on introducing a premium, freemium recurring revenue model. A little bit about our team. We are 6 agile-driven and dedicated professionals. There are 2 founders, myself and Alexander. A little bit about my background. I was born and raised in Belgrade. I finished my primary education here. I lived 10 years in the Netherlands. I hold a master's degree in entrepreneurship, new business venturing innovation. I also have an executive education from Harvard Business School. Moreover, I'm an Endeavor entrepreneur. I'm an alumni from European Institute of Innovation and Technology. I'm a council member of National Sleep Foundation in the sleep tech space, as well as Kairos alumni. I have rich tech and business expertise, and I was honored multiple times for young entrepreneurs and innovation, both in Europe and in Serbia. More importantly than that, I really believe in pay it forward approach and supporting sharing knowledge, especially among young Serbian entrepreneurs and kind of boosting Serbian entrepreneurial ecosystem. So I'm very glad to be here today. Regarding what we're looking for from the organization and just moving forward, we would really like to connect to partners that can help us level up our business. So things that come to mind would be distribution opportunities worldwide, access to sleep coaches, clinics, hospitals, research opportunities with sports teams, medical centers, universities, and also one thing that I would really appreciate is first-hand advice and mentorship on recurring revenue premium business models within health, well-being, fitness industry, and app space. So if you think wearables are cool, you support innovation, and you would like to sleep better and help the world sleep better, let's talk. Thank you.
Great timing. You're actually one minute ahead of time. Great, thank you. We have some questions from the audience, which I will read now. So first one is, how do you scale up to a recurring revenue model? So what's your strategy for that? Kind of what are you thinking in terms of how much you would charge monthly, and is there any traction with that or early research with potential users?
Great question. Actually, this is one of the things that we are testing right now. We looked into different applications that, tangle, let's say, meditation, sleep, like Headspace, Muse, if you heard of that, and different, let's say, Aura Ring, for example, even Fitbit. Mm-hmm. So getting the pricing, it's something that we haven't nailed down yet, and this is something that I definitely would appreciate some feedback and advice. Regarding what we actually provide for this, I think we can bring a lot of value in terms of education and also in terms of helping you stay on track, because regarding, adjusting your circadian rhythm and using our technology, as I mentioned, you use it for, let's say, 1 week to 1 month to reach your goal, but then you actually have to re-entrain and kind of get back on track. So what we have seen, unlike, let's say, most of the fitness trackers that you use for 1 month and kind of discard, a lot of our users, use it in the first month really actively and then get back to it within 1 or 2 months later. And they're using it throughout the year, whether it's for jet lag, whether it's for depression during the winter time, or just, keeping up the energy. It's something that I believe that could definitely work. And the first feedback we did with let's say, through questionnaires and interview with our users are very positive. But nailing down this model, it's something that I would really appreciate some feedback and firsthand advice on somebody who actually did something similar.
Great. We actually have a couple of members with significant experience there, and we'll connect you after the meeting.
Wonderful.
One other thing I seen comments, Brano Perkovic, who is at San Francisco 49ers, I'll also connect you with him, can potentially take a look at it and give it to their players to test, which would be huge for you. But one other interesting question we had, what portion of your market and customers is US versus non-US? And, yes. And then would you need to substantiate your claims? Do you need any kind of FDA approvals for the US?
Yes, so actually we are pre-COVID, right? 60% US, 20 to 30% Europe, and the rest of the world. The remainder, currently this year with the COVID situation, US is around 30%. So we did see a dip there. But US is our focus at the end, and it's most of our customers are from US. So definitely, I think scaling there and just the culture, but wellness oriented, fitness oriented fits very well.
Great. And do you need any kind of FDA approvals or no?
No. So yeah, good question. There are kind of two routes you can take, right? The medical one via FDA, and the general wellness one. So we took the general wellness one because it allows us much more creative marketing strategies. And most of the devices in the light therapy space are actually general wellness. So we are being sold, we are fully certified and are able to sell in the US, and we are selling in the US. I mean, you have like Prop 65 about batteries, you have eye safety, which is international, but there is no need for FDA. We are participating in different studies that are really treating medical symptoms, like what I mentioned, cancer-related fatigue. Or we are actually now doing a very interesting study with Vanderbilt Center of Excellence for dementia and Parkinson. And if you would want to tap into those markets, and market it like a product solution for that, definitely we could then go into FDA route.
That's great. And this question actually came from Serge Lonchar from our New York chapter, who actually just ordered a pair. So.
Oh, thank you.
one more step. So one more question. You mentioned the engagement and for how long do users and customers wear it? So and as you go to subscription model, that becomes even more important to reduce the churn. So what's your plan on kind of extending that engagement by as much as possible?
Yeah, so I mean, this is really something in the making, something that we need to test out and see. But having said that, one of the kind of key things about our business and just moving forward is what we have seen kind of the main challenges that you need to overcome. With AYO, it's number one, it's raising awareness. Most of the people haven't heard about this technology. But keep in mind, you know, most of the digital marketing we do, or any marketing we do, it brings a lot of eyeballs. So getting attention is not so difficult. Number two is education. How does it work? Does it work, right? And this is something that I think the app and, you know, connecting with the right partners, which we do, can bring a lot of value to our customers because they get personal advice from top experts worldwide about circadian health. And thirdly, you know, it is about credibility, and this is one of the things that we are doing now with the research and the partners worldwide.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and we have 1 more minute to go. If we can put back the previous slide so we can all see kind of all the ways we could help you with. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and then I'll go into one more question, which would be, would you be more focused on kind of B2C, that directly selling directly B2C, or going through enterprise, going through companies, going through employers?
Yeah, it's a really good question. So most of our efforts so far are B2C, simply because we understand better, you know, consumer lifestyle space. But we do see a big opportunity in B2B as well. I mean, we collaborated with different airlines, including, you know, KLM, Singapore Airlines, even Air Serbia for very short. So I believe it's quite applicable. We would be interested to approach it. It's just that we don't have much connections or experience there.
Great. And the final one, are you looking for additional investment? Are you fundraising right now, or?
Yes, so we are actually in the prep phase. So we are evaluating, you know, what COVID did to us in our runway. Probably we would do a small bridge round with our current investors, and maybe we'll have 1 or 2 tickets open, but this is still in the making. So we're not actively fundraising at the moment. Okay,
great. Well, thank you very much. Thanks for sharing your startup with us. I will follow up with some of the promised connections, and let's go on to the second one.
Thank you so much.
Our second presenter is Love from Vacation Tracker. Love, if you can share your screen.
I'm going to share my screen. Just give me a second to get set up. Okay. Okay, does everybody see the right screen? Because one of the screens is the deck, and then the other one's like the preview.
I think we can see the deck.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So hi everybody. Thank you for inviting me to present here today and for reaching out to us proactively to participate in this. I think it's great that you guys are taking this initiative, and we're very happy to be a part of it. So I'm going to start off by telling you a little story about how we started Vacation Tracker. And it actually, it's our first company, Cloud Horizon, that gave birth to this idea. Cloud Horizon, we founded in about 2009, and for about 10 years, we've been doing web and mobile application development for various businesses. So we've had a lot of exposure working with various startups, both successful ones and ones that failed. So we kind of had a ground floor view on a lot of these the successful startups and what was working for them. And we always were talking internally about wanting to develop our own product. And so in 2016, we did a little hackathon in Cloud Horizon with the team, and we developed kind of a very crude version of Vacation Tracker because it's a problem we were facing internally. As we were growing the company, when we were less than 10, it was relatively easy to keep track of when people are sick, when they're away, how many days they have left, and so forth. When we crossed 10 people, it started becoming a little bit more challenging. And so in 2016, we decided to try to kind of solve this problem through the hackathon. And then we just kind of gave up on this idea because we were having a very successful year with Cloud Horizon in 2016 and 2017. But our problems were kind of mounting. The team was growing. We were using a combination of Google Calendar and Google Sheets. We were trying to find a solution. Everything we were finding were big HR platforms, which we didn't really need. We were just wanting to have a simple solution to keep track of when everybody's off and what their quotas are and so forth. And so finally in January 2018, we had a little bit of a pause in terms of like the growth for Cloud Horizon. And so we assigned 2 developers to work on 2 different product ideas. One of them was Vacation Tracker. And before that, when we did the first, the hackathon, we had set up a simple landing page like the way Eric Ries talks about the classic MVP approach. And we collected about 60 or 70 email addresses on this. And so in March of 2018, we emailed these people and we said, hey, the product is ready for use. Please sign up if you're interested. And so about 20 of them signed up. And the first version of the product was like really, really terrible. And it was just really doing the core, making requests, approving requests, and basically, just having a little dashboard and where you can see everything and some notifications to keep the team informed. And so these teams started signing up in March of 2018, and they started giving us feedback. They started telling us like what they want to see inside of the product. And ever since then, minus 1 or 2 features that we've developed, everything that we've been working on is actually customer driven. And so the reason we decided to build this in Slack is because, our team uses a lot of tools to get the job done. We use Jira, Confluence, we use Clockify. I think Nana's on the call here. We use Clockify to measure our time. We use a bunch of different tools in Cloud Horizon. So we didn't want them to have to remember another website where they have to remember another login. We wanted to build it directly into our workflow. And since we use Slack a lot, we decided to build it in Slack. Again, internally, the first version was really intended for kind of us to use and to solve our own problem, and then to see whether there's a market for an idea like that. And so our first paying customer was in September of 2018. That's when we kind of started charging customers. And I'll get into all the key metrics in a second. We are now reaching about getting close to 500 paying teams, and a little shy of 10,000 monthly active users. And right now what we're working on is expanding from Slack to other platforms, because what we found is one of our major limitations in terms of marketing is that we're bringing people to our website. We have really good traffic. Our marketing efforts are paying off, but a lot of people don't have Slack, and our product only works on Slack right now. So within 2-3 weeks, we're opening up Microsoft Teams. And then a couple of weeks after that, G Suite, and then general email. So then after that, everybody should be able to sign up to Vacation Tracker, not just companies that are using Slack. So in a nutshell, the opportunity is really the difficulty of requesting and approving leave. I've heard all kinds of stories now that I'm in this space, and I've been talking to people about how they track leaves and how they make requests and how generally this is all managed inside companies. I'm hearing all kinds of things from people filling papers and faxing them to, you wouldn't believe some of the stuff that I've heard. The other problem is that a lot of the time when somebody goes on vacation, they don't notify the rest of the team. So what was happening to us, for example, is we have 5 or 6 people working on one project. One person takes off and goes on vacation. Another team member needs something from that person that's on vacation. And now they have to wait until they come back from vacation. So people were not really, they were not really in the loop as to when people on their own team were even taking time off. And then finally, the whole disorganized nature of managing leaves in your organization, how to plan things properly, these are really the 3 key problems that we set out to address. And so the solution that we came up with is to really make it super simple. And I'm going to show you in a second, make it super simple to make requests and approve them, keep the team notified. And that's really the core of Vacation Tracker. So if you take a look at the product, on this side is how you make a request. So it's literally 3 clicks. You run a command and you select your dates, you do a couple of clicks and you send your request, and that's pretty much it. So it takes you 10 seconds to do it. And on this side is how you approve or deny it, where you get a notification inside Slack. It tells you some information about the request, and you could approve, deny, or you can open the dashboard where you can get more information about your team and when different people inside of the organization are off. Our business model is right now we're charging $25 for teams of up to 50 people. It's a flat $25 fee, and we charge $1 per user per month for teams of 50 or more. Now what we're going to be doing is we're introducing teams, and we're adding some more features for larger organizations. We're going to be splitting that into a core and complete type of plan, where it's going to be $25, and we're going to be increasing our pricing a little bit because every mentor I've spoken to is telling me we're not charging enough. And so basically we're increasing the price to $25 per month, flat for teams of up to 25, and then $1 per user per month beyond that. And for the complete package, which is going to include some additional features like accruals and multi-level approvals and things that larger companies need, we're going to be charging $50 per month flat for teams of up to 25, and then $2 per user per month for teams over 25. Now, the first version of this graph that I sent didn't have this little piece at the end. I would love to tell you the story that COVID-19 didn't impact our business, but unfortunately that would be a lie. So it did impact, not as drastically as many other businesses that I've heard. We've had a small drop in the number of teams. We're about 10 teams off from our peak. And our monthly recurring revenue dropped about $600 from the peak. And we're starting to turn it around. We're already starting to see that it's kind of flatlining and going back up. But in the interest of full transparency, this is what it is. So we did have a very solid growth curve right up until COVID. And we do feel that because of the way things are evolving and how the world is going to look like after COVID, we think that a lot of companies are going to be moving to remote work. And this is the type of tool that they're going to need to be able to keep their team in the loop as to when everybody's off. So a couple of key metrics. First paying customer, as I said, was in September of 2018. Our MRR at the beginning of May was just shy of 15,000 US dollars. Our lifetime value of a customer is about 900 US dollars. Our churn over the lifetime of the product over the last year and a half is about 3.1%. And one really good metric that we have is when people try our product, 26% of them convert to paying customers. And that's been holding steady even through this COVID situation. We feel that's a very good metric and that people really love our product. Besides them telling us they love our product, I think this kind of demonstrates that they're really happy with the product. Our revenue in 2019 we did 75,000 US dollars. In 2020, this was a couple of weeks ago when I sent the first version to Vedran, so it was 68,000. So we're on track to like more than double our revenue this year. And we spent 16,857 US dollars altogether since the beginning on paid marketing to achieve a revenue of just shy of 15,000 US dollars. And even though we charge $25, our average monthly revenue per customer is about $32 because it includes the teams that pay $1 per user per month. And we do have some larger teams that are using Vacation Tracker. Our roadmap, I'd mentioned it already, but within a couple of weeks, we're going to be opening up to Microsoft Teams. Our beta is actually supposed to start in 2 weeks. And then after a couple of weeks later, we're going to have a general release. In September, we're releasing the G Suite integration. And then finally, we're releasing a version 2 for Slack. And Microsoft Teams and G Suite are actually going to be operating on version 2. And then we're going to migrate all the existing teams from Slack onto the second version. These are some of the companies that are using our product. Initially, we thought this is a solution for small to maybe mid-sized businesses. What we found is that we have a lot of large companies, smaller teams inside larger companies that are interested in using a product like this. For example, we have 3 IBM teams, one in Atlanta, one in Toronto, and one somewhere in Asia. I didn't want to put this here on this, but even the US Congress is using Vacation Tracker. One senator's office is using Vacation Tracker, and they're super happy with it. They did an annual subscription up until the next election. So we've had a couple of really great customers, and it's growing like every day. Like right now, like NASCAR is on our wait list for Microsoft Teams. So the team, we have a small but dedicated team, and we operate in a very agile way. This is the team that's basically working full time on Vacation Tracker. We do have some people on bench in Cloud Horizon that occasionally come in and help out a little bit when they have time. But generally, this is kind of the team that's working full time on the product, and they're really a very committed and dedicated group. And everybody's very familiar with like the newest tech that they were using. And I don't really want to get too much into a discussion on the technology that we're using, but we're really using cutting edge tech, and our cost of operating the technology itself are very low. And then finally, my partner and I, who both have like a lot of experience working with startups, we've both touched many different projects over the last 10 years. I'm equipped with an engineering and finance diploma, so I'm kind of bridging this gap between engineering and technology. And I've worked with many startups over the years, both as customers of Cloud Horizon and as a mentor to several startups. And my partner he's just really like a super technical guy. He's very involved in the front end community. He's the founder of JavaScript Belgrade, which has like a couple of thousand members right now. He presents at many conferences. He wrote a book on, doing Node applications and using serverless. And he's also an AWS serverless hero, which is giving us some visibility. When he goes to present at Reignite and other conferences relating to Amazon, gives us some visibility for Vacation Tracker. But also we have connections inside Amazon, which gives us access to information before everybody else in terms of some of the technologies that are heading our way before they're actually released. So in a nutshell, that's it. I don't have a we're looking for slide. And the reason I don't have a we're looking for slide is because we actually weren't looking for an investment. Right now, Cloud Horizon is financing the gap between our revenue and our cost, which is not very big. We generally try to operate this business at close to break even. Our plan is to actually raise financing closer to the end of the year or early next year when we have a little bit more traction. But what we're looking for is connections. We're looking for feedback. If anybody has gone through something similar, they can provide some additional feedback. Obviously, we'd like to establish contact with potential investors that we can reach out to when we are ready to make an investment. And of course, if anybody here is in a company that feels that they could use a product like this, I'd love to hear about it. So thank you guys, and I'm going to open the floor to questions right now.
Thanks, Slav. We have some interesting questions. I'll start with the one that's more product related. There are actually a couple, but the question is, do you guys integrate your software with Workday or some other HR tool? And the second part of that question is, beyond the expansion to Microsoft and Google, is there a kind of bigger product roadmap?
Yes. So basically, first of all, we do want to integrate with different HR platforms and payroll systems. That's definitely on the roadmap. In terms of expanding what our general roadmap is, well, I'd mentioned as part of the problem planning leads, right? Because I think part of the problem is that management frequently doesn't understand when people are taking off, can't really recommend specific periods. So we do want to integrate more intelligent planning of leaves in general. Okay, sick days you can't really plan, but like PTO, you can plan a little bit better around like product releases, deadlines, and things like this. And so we are heading in that direction. So the first step is because we found product market fit for small to medium businesses. And so we feel that we need to open up the market to more small and medium businesses so that we can capture more of that market. Following that, we do want to add some features to help with planning, but we also want to go enterprise as well. Right now, we don't want to tackle that market. That was one of the questions. Do we want to tackle enterprise first and then go into different platforms? Or do we want to go into different platforms and then go enterprise? We decided that because we have product market, we feel that we have product market fit already. The better idea was to do platform expansion first, and then after that, go enterprise. So in a nutshell, the answer to your question is more enterprise features, so we can bring on larger customers, and also more features relating to planning. Maybe introduce some artificial intelligence, more to like make suggestions to employees, like maybe this would be a good period for you to take time off, or management to understand when they're going to be short-staffed and stuff like that. That's kind of the direction that we want to be moving in long term.
Got it. Thank you. Now a question on distribution and customer acquisition costs. So what would you say was the most successful distribution channel, or where do most of those 500 teams come from? Do they come from the ad spend or other avenues?
Actually, no. Like I'll tell you what really didn't work well for us, for anybody that wants to try this, to take it with a grain of salt. Product Hunt was probably the single best channel for us organically. We had maybe like 50 paying teams that come out of an organic Product Hunt campaign. So we're like, oh, let's do the paid one and see how that's going to work. And that netted literally zero paying customers, the paid product campaign, whereas the other one added like 50 paying customers. So that was a channel that worked relatively well. The other distribution channel that works very well for us is the Slack App Store. So that really converts like the best for us. And then also we have like, we don't do a lot of paid marketing, but we do a lot of SEO and like blog articles and landing pages and so forth. So that drives a lot of traffic and a lot of signups for us.
Got it. Another question. Have you tried looking into partnership with issue tracking systems or any other complementary products?
We thought about it. It's on our roadmap to start reaching out to them, but we haven't done it yet. No.
Okay. Great.
If anybody has any ideas, like one of the things we were thinking about doing is a plug-in for Jira, because that's a market that's kind of untapped, and we know a couple of people that built like products and then they did integrations for Jira Confluence, and they just their sales took off. We're thinking about doing it for Jira Confluence, but if anybody has any ideas on other issue tracking or other systems that might be interesting to integrate with, we're definitely open to hearing about it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, there's also a question on what's the value add against competitors like UltiPro?
I haven't heard of that particular competitor, but you know, we have a couple of value adds. Like, first of all, we think that, you know, we built this around Slack. So like our whole concept was that everything should be doable inside Slack. So most products kind of start as a web application and they build the Slack integration. We kind of built the Slack integration first. So like we're thinking as a chatbot, like, you know, that's, you know, how people say we think mobile first. Well, we're thinking like chatbot first. And we made like, that's one of the feedbacks that we get is like, wow, your Slack integration is super slick. And we're trying to do the same thing with Microsoft Teams. The other thing that we're doing, I think, differently from a lot of people is because of the nature of Cloud Horizon's business and the way we set our company up, meaning we have 2 offices, one in Canada and one in Belgrade. We have a distributed team. So we were forced to think about the product in those terms. And so we built like a couple of features, including like one, I'll use as an example, like a Teams feature, which is like very neat for us. And it turns out that there's a lot of people that have the same problem as us. And a lot of the other products that are competing against us didn't really look at it in the same way as us. So there's a couple of things like this that seem to be really hitting the nail on the head, like in terms of like, this is a good product for remote teams and also for distributed teams. And we have certain features that really differentiate us in that regard from most of our competitors.
Great, thank you so much. Our time is up for Q&A. Whoever wants to get in touch with Lav, his email's here. You can also reach out to me and I'll put you in touch. Thank you, Lav.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. Next up, we have Ivan from 60 Seconds. Ivan, you can, there we go.
Hope you can hear me. Hello to all. My name is Ivan Kadic and I am co-founder and director of the 60 Seconds mobile application. First, I would like to say thank you for the opportunity and your time. I used to be Serbian abroad and I lived and studied in Florence, Italy for 6 years. And after my university and master's, I moved back to Belgrade to work from Belgrade. I said that in the beginning because my second language is Italian, so if I make some mistake in English, please sorry. Actually, 60 Seconds was, sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Actually, the 60 Seconds, the idea about 60 Seconds was born from the problem that the retailers had with overstock and out of stock. And that caused them 1.1 trillion globally in lost revenue. We studied a lot about various business models of various retail global companies, and we separated them into the 2 categories. One category to those who have less than 15% of unsold inventory left at the end of each season, and those not so successful who have more than 15% of unsold inventory after each season. So let's take an example and say that first one is Zara with Champion. Zara is Champion and they have less than 10% of unsold inventory. And the least one is, for example, H&M with 23%. Where is Zara great is because they research the local market very well. For them, local market and as well for the 60 Seconds is each country. They send few pieces of each collection to each country, then they gather data and information so they can send more and more collection. But we have to remember one very important thing, and that is that almost 50% of total invested capital actually is in inventories, and that tie up operating capital. So a lot of companies decide to go and make sales. They do weekend sales, they do Black Fridays, they do cyber deals, they do big seasonal sales, and all of that reduce the product value and leads to the inaccurate prediction regarding customer behavior, because every sales leads to new sales. They don't have any precise customer behavior, especially when it comes to the price on local market. So we invented a mobile application that identifies the ideal price at which the customer is ready to make a purchase. How? Because we have help from our customers actually, and from the brand's customers. So there is a mobile application 60 Seconds, for example, on Serbian market, and users can enter on the virtual shopping mall, select, for example, from 50 global brands presented as our clients, and they enter, for example, in the store of Nike. There is full collection, new, old one, everything, special, limited edition, everything is in this Nike store of the 60 Seconds mobile application, and the user can enter and choose the product, and as well they can decide on the price, on how much they're ready to pay. When they send the request, they actually identify themselves. So the company identifies customers and their needs. As well, companies at the same time can sell, for example, if they decided to sell on the weekend sales for 40 or 50% less at sneakers, for example, of Nike that customer requested, now they can sell for 20% and they can do it very fast, and they can set free the operating capital so they can maintain healthy profit margins. As well, we bring the customer in the center of attention. Now the customer is the one to take the initiative. So the customer is one to say, okay, Nike, I like you. You're my favorite brand. Now I want to choose the product from your collection, and I want to choose the discount on how much I'm ready to pay. Okay, I know we have 60 seconds. If I ask more, there is of the discount, there is less probability that I will get the positive answer from you, but I'm ready to take that risk. So we are happy that today we can offer 50 plus global brands on our mobile application for Serbian market. And as well, the dashboard is controlled by the brands. We made that to satisfy, for example, Inditex or Zara, because brands, they can control their dashboard from the central or headquarters of the brand, for example, from Spain, and they can open the markets they wish to open. For example, maybe they have interest to sell via 60 seconds in Poland, but not in Hungary. So they will have the control of their all local markets, but as well, local markets will have enter in their dashboard to have control on their stores in that, especially local markets. They can approve, disapprove requests. They can export data. They can gather a couple of informations, and as well, when they approve the request of the user, then user get notification. When user entering notification, then starts counting down from 60 to 59. If user do not decide to buy the product for his price, then for the price that he actually requested, then product is blocked. So he cannot send again the request for the same product or of the same brand. Our target groups, when it comes to business, that companies that sell through the items through the application, and companies that are advertised through the application. It's not the same thing, because some companies are advertised it, but they're not selling on the application. And when it comes to the business to customers, we have influencers and the users. We will come back to influencers a little bit later, just to say that our current clients for the Serbian market, but as well, we can spread on the regional market with them. We started in November last year with the sports brands. We have largest sports brands, but then we spread to electronics and techniques. Now clothes, shoes, accessories, even bookstores. Now, from the next week, we will have cosmetics. So our little virtual shopping mall is not so little. It's increasing. It's every month bigger and bigger. When it comes to the influencers, they have separated category. They have virtual profiles, shops. They can sell their own design things. They can sell their own garage things, garage sale things. But as well, very important feature, they can advertise articles from the clients with just one click. For today, for example, today, some famous brand they send to influencers, so they can do advertisement on the influencer profile on the Instagram, but they are never so sure on how many people arrived actually in store and bought it. Now they have opportunity with just one click to send to the profile of influencer, and they will know exact number of people that actually bought some product from that influencer. How we earn? We earn from advertising on the application. 3% of transaction fee, but it's not fixed, because depends of the type of the brand. For example, electronics, techniques, it's less than 3%. Position of the virtual store of the application, it's not. It's very important to be positioned on the top for the local markets, because you gather more requests and more information. And premium dashboard. So this is very interesting, because with the now simple dashboard, they have few information about how many how many people visited their store, and when their store was most popular during the week or month. But with premium dashboard, they will have the exact data. For example, they can say, okay, we wish to see from 18 years old to 25 years old girls, what is most popular product in, for example, Novi Sad or just Belgrade or one part of the Belgrade. Not just most desirable in case of the request, but as well most visited or most saved and those kind of informations. But we are building on second phase, we are building machine learning that will predict and go deep into the stock of the brand, and then go to this mass pool of the information from the customers, and we can make from the brand prediction on when is best moment to sell it because of the need to set free the operating capital. So for example, if one brand has many requests at the moment, we will put them what is best for them so they can relieve their operating capital for next week or something like that. Results, we have 50 plus global brands when it comes to the Serbian market. Currently 24,000 products visible on 60 seconds platform, 90,000 active users which sending requests. Until now, from November, we have had 3,200 purchases, 2.1 million visits on the application and the official website. And when it comes to the influencers, 15 profiles and 200 purchases. As well, we are around 10,000 euros total revenue monthly. And we are a team of 8 people currently, mostly into development. So we don't have any clear competitors, which is maybe bad, but not so, because I like to say that 60 seconds is not revolution of the e-commerce, it's just evolution, because we are mixing a lot of things. We are not classical marketplace because we don't have inventory that is on the items that it's on the mobile application. We don't break our head with the logistics and everything. Brands, they are owners of their stores. They just have a basic customer service that will help our users to connect with the brand if they have something, some problems. We are not flash sale site, even if we have some kind of characteristic of flash sale site. We are not social network, but we have influencers as well and profiles. We are mixing of all, so some kind of gamification of online shopping, especially with that 60 seconds trigger and full of adrenaline. And for our target group, which is Generation Z and millennials, it's very popular. And we have been interested in trending on Google Play Store for the Serbian market when it comes to the shopping several times. We haven't invested a lot in marketing because we invested in product. And we are currently seeking for the investor so we can spread our mobile application on other markets. So this is it.
Great. Before we get into questions, can you tell us more what kind of round are you looking to raise? How much are you looking to raise?
Yes, we are in seed round. We invested our private money in this product so far, and now we are seeking for $200,000 for 15% of equity share.
Mm-hmm. Great. Thank you for the time. We have some questions from the audience. First one is, how do customers typically learn about 60 seconds?
So through social networks, we use the influencers model, very, very good, because they actually do commercials of their profile on the 60 seconds. So actually it's beneficial for both, because they want to earn more from the brands, and as well they want to be more popular on the application. But as well we do commercials on the Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and those kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How do you vet which brands can participate as sellers? Or can
so our model first, our business model was to identify all those brands that presented in the largest shopping malls around Serbia and in the biggest cities, in Belgrade and Novi Sad and Niš. So we approached them first. We made a strategy to be the first sports brand, because we wanted to approach to the males first, because we find out during the marketing research that males, that means in Serbia do not use very well online shopping applications. So we wanted to attract them to use more. That's why we started with sports brands first, and we started with the most popular one, of course.
And do you have any exposure outside of Serbia, or everything is in Serbia now as far as the users and the brands and ability?
We have exposure in the region because all global brands that presented in our applications, their headquarters for this region is in Belgrade, of course. And so we have only exposure for now in this region. We have even several hundred users from different kind of regions, but they go away because we cannot send because Serbia is outside of European Union and all those things. But this region is not our goal. Our goal is, of course, United States of America, and to build a bridge with someone there, to find investor there, to finish this kind of stuff we have with data, and to find a couple of stores and something so we can start in the United States as well, and find more investors in later phases.
One operational question first. How do you manage returns, or if somebody wants to use the product?
Yeah. So here in Serbia, the returns are less than 10%, actually less than 8%. So that's not a huge problem here in Serbia, but it will be in other markets, especially in the United States, where it goes more than 30%. But we are, as I said, we have customer service, and then when a client has a problem, we contact and we connect the client with the brand, because in the end, brand is the one to decide if it is suitable to be returned or not.
Mm-hmm. And as you expand into the US, you would have to create partnership with the same brands, but based in the US, right? So is that essentially having to create those partnerships?
Yes.
Or?
But it's not, it is, but it's not necessary to start with huge brands in the United States. It is good to start even with smaller shops, smaller stores, multi-brand stores presented in the major streets, and where they need to, because we need only 24 hours to open new stores in the 60-second mobile application to integrate to importer products. So it's very fast, and we can search for the local stores and start from the local.
Mm-hmm. And what is the distribution between users who made repeat purchasers?
Yes, we are building loyalty program, because that our dashboard works first chronologically, and then based on the amount of the discount. So for example, if I send discount for 20% in 6 p.m. and somebody for the same product send in the 6:15 p.m., I will be primary in the dashboard, so I will be first. Then we started to create a loyalty program in which, for the users that make purchases a lot, then the products will be opened first, so they can send the requests first.
Mm-hmm. Got it. And in conclusion, give us 3 things we can help you with as a group.
Okay, so of course, if there is somebody who have experience in e-commerce, it will be great to connect and to share some advices. Serbian e-commerce market is very hard, but if we survive the Serbian e-commerce market, we can survive any e-commerce market, because it's not hard because of the large population that use e-commerce, but it's hard because of the people who and the brands, they're not very open for new innovative things. And and the second one, of course, investor, if there is possibility, so we can build some kind of bridge between Serbia and USA in the next 12 months to create and to open a Serbian market as well, American market as well. And that's it.
You sure you don't want to ask one more request?
One more request is to buy via 60 Seconds platform if you are in Serbia.
Okay.
When we come in the United States.
Thank you very much. I will share your email with the group so everyone can get connected with Ivan. Great, thank you. Our final presentation is Sreten from Presentation Master. Sreten, if you can share your screen.
Presentation. Screen. Okay. Well, first of all, hi everyone. Thank you for this great opportunity, and we are very happy to be part of this Today Pitch Clinic. My name is Sreten Branic, and I am the founder and the CEO of the company called Presentation Master. Presentation Master is the company which aims to be a partner in creating and delivering different kind of presentation. My story started 7 years ago when I joined a big corporation, one of the leading financial institutions, and I have spent 7 years in creating and delivering different kind of presentation. And I spent more than 3,000 hours preparing different presentation for myself, for management, and for my colleagues. And I realized there is actually a huge gap. So I start looking for the presentation, for the solution. PowerPoint has 500 million active users worldwide. 30 million presentations are created every month. And there is over 1 million presentation on a daily basis. Even with a 9% of market share, PowerPoint still create a lot of dissatisfaction. People spend a lot of time. It is hard to meet the short deadline. We have very unproductive work in designing and formatting appealing slides. People looking a lot for the existing slides, and there is no effective way on how to structure a presentation. Together with my team, we have built the SaaS that is using AI to simplify actually design process. Software applies good design practice as user creates slides so they can make a better looking for presentation with less effort and in less time. Our main idea is actually to help individuals and companies to transform the way how they create and actually deliver presentation. Our solution collect metadata about the customer behavior, and based on that create usage pattern that will predict or suggest what next should or could happen. Besides that, we are offering also a slide library with fully integrated over 4,000 different type of business slides, charts, text boxes, icons, maps, and everything else available just on one click. Additionally, supported by presentation methodology guidance and assistant. Our products actually optimally support efficiency of the team, free up more time for what is important, and on the end, encourage collaboration and exchange of knowledge. Together with the easy installation, very easy browsing or looking for the type of the slide that is needed, we are enabling companies to have a program that is fully integrated into PowerPoint so they can share all the company slides and fulfill all the corporate branding standards. One of the main benefits is definitely saving time, which is enabling company to have a high return on investment. We have, let's say, a lot of competitors worldwide. If we are taking into consideration marketplace for the slides, but if we are talking about a solution that can only integrate into all version of the PowerPoint from 2007 up to 2016, there are 3 of them. One of them is a company called Power User, which is located in Paris in France. Their model is B2C, and currently they are growing over 1,000 users per year. On the other side, we have a company that is located called Empower, located in United States, which is actually the world leading provider in the office solution. They have more than 1 million active users currently, and they are only oriented onto B2B model, so mainly targeting large corporation. And on the end, we have a United States company called Beautiful AI that is applying artificial intelligence principles and helping people to create much faster presentation, but their disadvantages is actually that they can not be integrated part of the PowerPoint. Besides that, our companies are having, let's say, higher pricing. It is quite complex to use, and none of them are doing anything from the side of localization. We consider that our primary market and the starting point is the CE region, which currently have over 16 million users. There is a big market gap, and we consider there is a right moment to enter, because Microsoft is actually changing the model from one-time subscription moving forward to the monthly subscription. Our advantage over competitor is AI prediction, additionally presentation methodology, and definitely we can offer a bigger value for the lower price, considering that we have 40% currently lower pricing due to the lower production cost comparing to our competitors. What are the benefits of the program? Well, first of all, it is optimally supporting increasing the efficiency of your teams. Second, it free up more time for what is important. So we are focusing people on the more valuable task and do not spend a lot of time on the figuring out how should a presentation look like. We are encouraging collaboration and exchange of knowledge, which means that all the company slides can be fully integrated into our program and available to all the employees. We are reducing complexity, and on the end, we are fulfilling the corporate branding standard, which is very important in today's time. Our business model is quite simple. We have a simple transaction-driven business model, which means that this simplicity and give us a lot of possibility in terms of scalability. We are focusing on B2B business model, which means that we are selling over the Microsoft distributors or system integrators who are actually selling to the end users. Our pricing or our strategy for the pricing was step pricing. Main point, starting point was $84. So, and while number of the users increase, we are reducing the prices. Considering that we have quite high gross margin, over 93%, that is leaving a lot of space for our sales partner in terms of commission, so we can go up to 30% currently, but of course this is also negotiable for the next time. The business model is based on the annual subscription, which is currently how it works in the business, in the office business. Our market is estimated on the 271 million euro just for the CE market, and as I said on the beginning, there are 500 million active users worldwide, and over 1 million presentations are daily created in the PowerPoint. Our average customer is currently a corporate employee that is aged between 25 and 45, which is actually having a job that is consider a lot of creating and delivering different kind of presentation, not just for themselves, but also preparation for the management and for the different kind of collegiums. Our delta was quite good, considering that we are a newly established company in the less than a year ago. We have 100 paying customer, and currently we have 450 paying customer in 5 big corporations that are in free trial. Sorry for this mistake for the RSD. Our current revenue is over 12,000 American dollar. So that was our main progress in last 6 months. We deploy proof of the concept, and we show that actually solution is resolving the problem what is being built for. Our team is 30 plus years of experience, and I am the CEO. I have over 10 years of experience working on the 3 continents. I have spent 5 years in the United States, 1 year in China, and last 5 years I'm leading a program inside of one of the leading financial institution called Erste Banka. So I'm in charge for the financing and financing startups and the NGOs. So during this time, I was in charge for building up and setting up the whole business model, starting from the pricing guarantee schemes up to the financing and measuring sustainability of these companies. I also found 2 business, one in the United States and one in Serbia, in field of tracking and marketing. Together with me are Andrea, Marko, Vlatka, and Mio. The main guy, let's say, Andrea is the CTO with over 10 plus years of experience and leading projects. He's a software developer leading projects from 5 up to 50 million euros. So we are working together more than 2 years, and currently we are also expanding our team in field of sales and sales support. Our financial forecast is based on a couple things. We assume that there will be a slower economic growth, or let's say a recession in the coming year, but we foreseen the changes in the Microsoft model. So as I mentioned, they're changing the model from one-time paying license to a monthly subscription, which is opening a door for us, expecting that the lifetime value of our customer will be at 36 months. We are currently aiming for the first year to achieve over $250 revenue, which is around 70 customer. And in the year of 5th, where we are expecting to reach the 5 million, we think we need around 325 big corporation, which is from this point of view very achievable. We are wishing to maintain this high growth margin, and we are not expecting any particular changes in terms of pricing. Our financial forecast is based on that our sales is increasing around 100% over the years, but considering that the lifetime value is of our average customer is 36 months, we think that is let's say like quite conservative. Cost of acquisition is around 1,000 euro, but the average sales price is around 4,000 euros. Our EBITDA margin is between 27 and 35%, which is leaving us enough space for let's say like high returns on the investment capital.
Okay, we have 3 more minutes left.
Okay, so our just a couple more things. First, our goal for this year is to achieve first 1,000 users, which will create over 10,000 presentation. So in the second year, we want to become a part of the Microsoft Global Partner Network as an ICV, independent software vendor, which is opening a door for us for the global market. We want to fully implement the AI. So for that, we need a lot of data, and definitely in second year, we will go on more aggressive marketing push. And the main goal for the third year is to triple total revenue and build international partnership with the Microsoft distributors and the system integrators who will open actually a door for us for the system, for the end user. Why to invest now, or what we're looking for? First, definitely there is a big opportunity considering that we are the first mover on the CE market. Second, we deploy proof of the concept showing that there is a market, and currently we are looking for the strategic partner who can help us scale much faster. We have quite simple business model, which is opening a door for the scalability possibilities, and still we are retaining quite high margin. And on the end, definitely is our team, a diverse team of knowledge and skills with a long-standing relationship, which can be a valuable partner to be sure that we can execute on our plans. We didn't prepare a special slide for what we're looking for, but definitely, if I can mention here right now on the end, is that we are looking for the feedback, we are looking for the connection potential to the Microsoft distributors, and definitely to some strategic partners that can open door for the new market in EU or United States.
Great, thank you. Thank you for the presentation. We'll start with a piece of feedback from Ticho is consider having a slide with key business metrics that you just mentioned on this, I believe, second to last slide. So CAC, LTV, churn, lifetime. So have a slide with that.
Okay.
Really important piece. And then one of the questions is, what makes your solution unique or better than similar offerings such as Beautiful.ai?
Well, such a AI, we can also do a localization, so we can adapt and adjust to every single market, considering that we have quite good established professional and business network in the CE market. Besides that, we are offering also additional features comparing to the competitors, and besides also the pricing. There's a lot of things that we can improve in terms of user experience and let's say like benefits they can get from the product.
And can you talk a little bit more about your pricing? Are you I understand it's licensing. Are you limiting it per seat or usage limits, or how does that work?
Well, currently is working on the way that is the annual price is over $85. So we decide for the step pricing how the number of the user is increasing. We are reducing the pricing. So currently for the big corporation, our starting point is $7 per month. But if they reach over 50 users and upper, we are going lower up to $3 to $4 per month.
Got it. And what's your distribution strategy? So how did you acquire most of the current customers you have?
Well, current customers are acquired by, let's say, our professional business network. But currently we established the partnership with Kimtech. Their main Microsoft distributors for the Balkan region, and through the Kimtech, we want to open door for system integrators that will open door for the companies, for the end users.
Got it. So some of the Microsoft distributor introductions would be really helpful.
Yeah, there are two Microsoft distributors for the Balkan region, Comtrade and the Kimtech. So for currently, we have only established partnership with one of them.
Got it. And obviously, you're not just limited to Balkans.
Absolutely, absolutely. As I mentioned, our main goal is to become a partner or Microsoft partner global network. Microsoft is opening door for us as ICV to be a fully integrated, let's say, like partner for all the users of the Office solutions. So we can go on the Microsoft Office store, or we can go through their network directly to the end users.
Got it.
I forgot just to mention that we have gone through the process. So our application is officially approved by Microsoft. We are functional, stable, and we fulfill all the requirements from the Microsoft side to be officially plug-in solution.
Great. Well, thank you very much for the time.